Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty serious show for you guys. We want you guys to stick around for, so please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let me get into this one here. This is pretty serious. Now, as y'all know, we try to cover some of the biggest stories in the NBA, surrounding the NBA. And as a result of that, when we produce these shows that do well, a lot of people comment. And when they comment, we go through the comments, and those comments basically give us a general temperature of what people think about what they're seeing and maybe what they think about it from a macro level, not just on a micro level as it pertains to that particular topic, what they think about the thing entirely. And it seems like the opinions that sports fans have on the NBA is a mixed bag, right? It's a very mixed bag. And today, while doing some research, I came across a report from Outkick. I actually got it from another website, but I decided to get the full report from Outkick.com, which was very, very alarming. And it surrounds the NBA and the future in terms of, their broadcasting. It's a very serious one that we want to get into. So let me just actually get into the article here so I don't waste you guys' time. So basically, the article starts off with this headline: Warner Brothers Discovery pessimistic about keeping NBA on TNT. It continues on. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav plans not to overpay to retain the NBA on TNT, the flagship cable network under the company banner. Tuesday, Zaslav, I hope I pronounced his name properly, spoke with the RBC in a wide-ranging conversation about the company's sports portfolio. He lamented the favorable broadcast deals with MLB, the NHL, and March Madness. He then oozed pessimism over Discovery's forthcoming negotiation with the NBA. We don't have to have the NBA. And if we do a new deal with the NBA, it's going to look a lot different. I'd like to do a deal with the NBA, but it has to be a deal for the future. It can't be a deal for the past. The NBA's rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, formerly Warner Media, and Disney expire after the 2024-2025 season. The current agreement between the two partners accounts for $24 billion. However, a report from CNBC in 2021 says the NBA officials hope to see that number triple. Optimism around the NBA follows the NFL securing an 11-year, $110 billion deal with NBC, Fox, CBS, Disney, ABC/ABC, and Amazon. But the NBA is not the NFL. The interest in professional basketball continues to wane. The NBA has been on a downward spiral for the last 5 seasons. Regular season games are increasingly lackluster in both quality and ratings. TNT presently airs half of the NBA postseason in doubleheaders a week. Last season, the network bumped the first half of the doubleheader package from Thursday to the lesser viewed Tuesday night after struggling to hold up against the NFL's increasing priority on Thursday night football. Furthermore, Warner Brothers Discovery is embroiled in debt. Zavas described the advertising market as weak on Tuesday. Discovery's premium brand HBO lost $3 billion last year after spending $7 billion on content. Its cable news network CNN is on pace to drop below $1 billion in profit for the first time since 2016 as ratings hemorrhage. So overpaying for declining product in the NBA is hardly an advantageous business decision for Discovery. So you guys can go to the website and read that article in its entirety. But there's a lot to discuss here, and I want to get to that part quickly. We first have to ask ourselves the question, which is, why do we believe this could be happening? What do we think the reasons are for this? I think one of them is this. One of them is politics. As y'all know, we don't discuss politics on this channel for 2 very simple reasons. Number one, I don't like politics. I've said that on numerous occasions, so you shouldn't expect me to talk about politics in the future. That's one thing. The second thing is this. Politics is extremely, extremely divisive. It's right up there with religion. And the minute you bring in something as divisive as that into sports, where emotions are always running high because of the nature of sports, you create a recipe for disaster, in my personal opinion. And it's something you just want to steer clear of if you want to avoid the drama. Now, if you want to have your cake and eat it too, meaning benefit from the revenues that are generated in sports media and also benefit in the revenues that are generated from news, then you're going to mix the two. But you have to understand, going into it, go into things with your eyes open. You understand that there's a possibility that it could become uncontrollable, right? And I think that could be an aspect of it. Another aspect is simply this. If you look at networks, for example, like ESPN, although they're not particularly talking about ESPN in this particular article here, ESPN has been on this crusade to attack men. I've said this before, and it's something that I truly believe based on some of the things that I've been seeing on their network. And I think that when you continuously do this, you risk alienating your core audience. Forget about their ages. Look at their gender. A lot of men watch sports, and the more you continue to do that, after a while, it's going to turn people off. That's another thing. Another thing that we may not be discussing is the other alternatives to sports media. What's funny about people on television is this. They act like as if people, independent creators on YouTube and all of these guys don't exist. This is the joke of it all. They act like they're not real. Why? Because when you're on TV, you're presumed to be more serious. It's real. But when you see guys and creators doing stuff on the internet, no, they're not real. Right? Like the same way Mr. Beast must not be real to you. It just may be a thing that's happening but it's not real because it's on YouTube. These guys are also eating into their market share. They are. You have creators out there getting hundreds or tens of millions of views per year. Compound that per creator. You're talking about hundreds of millions of views generated. And what happens is once these people get other alternative sources of sports news, they may end up liking those people more than what they're seeing on television. Number one. Number two, because these networks don't have a feedback system, it's very hard to gauge what people really think about what you're saying. And that's a problem. They're looking at ratings, and ratings indicate the people watching, the demographics, when they're watching, all of those, but they don't give you sentiment. The only way they are able to measure sentiment is when they see less people watching and they think, okay, well, this must mean they don't like the content. And that's one of the advantages that YouTube has, is because it gives you multiple sources of feedback. You get views, you get comments, you get likes, you get dislikes. That's another thing. Another thing is they don't really try to interact with the people watching. When have you ever watched the segment where they ask at the end of the segment, what do you guys think in the audience? They never do it. They never do it. And I think all of these things may be working against them. I think the other situation that's not working in their favor is the Kyrie Irving matter. I think that has not helped the situation. And the things that Charles Barkley and Shaq said cannot be characterized as positive if you're looking at that situation. I started watching the NBA in early 2000, around 2000. I don't remember it being filled with this much drama as it is today. So to me, I think that, this is something that they really need to pay attention to. And I think it's something we need to pay closer attention to as the story evolves. So what I want to know from you guys is, number one, what do you think about this report? And number two, what do you think about what I had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.